Hello, it is Tuesday, May 2nd, 2023. I'm Chris Raymond. Welcome back to the New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. It's a Tuesday puzzle today, so we should have a relatively approachable themed puzzle to continue our early week solving. And this early week approachable edition of the Daily Solve has been brought to us by Laura Sexton, Victoria Rojishka, Kathleen Quinn, and, as always, the invaluable Timothy Mark and the indomitable Shulmaster. So thank you so much to the five of them, benefactors of the Daily Solve Patreon campaign, for their generous support. I really do appreciate it. It keeps this channel going. So thank you if you are a patron, and thank you to those five. And if you'd like to become a patron yourself, you can head over to patreon.com/dailysolve or click the link in the description field. Your support is greatly appreciated, and for it, you will receive all of the bonus videos that have gone up on the channel to date, as well as the new ones that go up each week. And then if you become a benefactor, you also get the Daily Solve Let's Check the Crosses mug. Thank you again if you are a patron. It really does keep this whole thing going, so thank you. And you can also join the Daily Solve Discord chat server. There is an extra channel on there for Patreon subscribers, but generally speaking, it's free, and there's a link in the description field. It's a nice, friendly chat community. And please do also subscribe to the channel on YouTube if you've not gotten around to that. It's a huge help, and it helps YouTube understand that some people like this channel, which is a good thing. All right, let's get on to today's crossword. This is a Tuesday construction by Amy Lucido, who's constructed around a dozen crosswords for the New York Times, and it was edited, as always, by Will Shorts. So there will be some sort of theme, and in fact, we can see some circled cells through the gauzy privacy veil, so that is redolent of a theme, but who knows what it yet means. Let's find out, and let's start solving. Destination for NASA's Perseverance rover. That's a Mars rover, I'm pretty sure. But let's check the crosses to make sure. I guess the M, if it's a moon rover, the M won't help, but we'll start here. Counterparts of sirs could be madams. Full of love could be a flame? Doesn't fit, and it doesn't really work. Amorous? That could be. You could be described as amorous, full of love. In a wild way. If you're running in a wild way, you're running amok. Okay, this is actually looking reasonably decent here. Enjoy the slopes is to ski. And 50 first dates and 27 dresses for two. Those must be rom-coms. 50 first dates sounds familiar. 27 dresses I don't think I recognize, but this looks correct. Oh. What did I do here? Didn't I say ski? Did I not type ski in here? I don't know. I don't know what I did. Anyway, woman who might wield a whip, a dominatrix, maybe? Oh, amorous. I misspelled. Sorry. Okay. Dominatrix. There we go. Do I have everything else right? I think so. Okay. So what is this? Minatry. Backwards? Or tenim? Not sure. Let's keep going. Red or white team. In baseball, you could have the Red Sox or the White Sox. And rolls up as pant legs. Do you call that cuffing your pant legs? It sounds plausible, but I'm not certain, so I'll have to check the crosses. Sonny Corleone portrayer in The Godfather, James Caan. So there we go. And sport played with a frisbee. Oh, ultimate frisbee, which I guess people just refer to as ultimate. I have heard people call that just ultimate, which is a funny name for a sport, but what do I know? Basically nothing. A physicist, Enrico Fermi is a physicist, and certain status on social media. I'm not sure. What about this final Oldsmobile model? There was an Oldsmobile Alero. Wouldn't have necessarily known it was the final model, but that sounds perfectly plausible. Oldsmobile being a defunct car make. And certain status on social media. You could be somebody's friend. I guess you could consider that your status vis-a-vis somebody else. And art form from Japan is anime, sort of Japanese comic books, and then Tammany Hall caricaturist Thomas. So Thomas Nast was a famous American political cartoonist, caricaturist, and Tammany Hall was a sort of stronghold of democratic machine politics in the United States, so would have been frequently caricatured. Pioneering synthesizers introduced in the 1960s are Moogs. Looks like Moogs, but I believe it's more properly pronounced Moog, named for its inventor, Robert Moog. And you've heard these in Moogs are a lot of, I guess, film soundtracks. Wendy Carlos recorded all of the music for A Clockwork Orange, the Stanley Kubrick film, on a Moog. And there's also, I think, some Wendy Carlos Moog work in The Shining as well, I think. Anyway, it's great sounding stuff. Weed, ganja maybe, for marijuana. Let's see. Eastern Ireland on the equator. That looks like Sumatra, doesn't it? And Greek H, eta, I think. And then a result of burnout could be ash, if you think about burnout in a literal sense of fire. And that's what the question mark is doing there. Often the question mark is a pun indicator, and often it means treat this even more literally than you usually would, rather than less. So instead of burnout in the idiomatic sense and the sort of getting overly tired and exhausted, in this case it just means an actual fire burning. Okay, stick around is to remain. And character associated with the beverage shaken in this puzzle, circled letters. Right, James Bond, who orders a martini shaken, not stirred. And yes, okay, I wish I would have immediately grabbed this from the anagram, but we have a martini shaken up in the circled cells. Oh, okay, great. So that'll give us quite a bit of help here. Gas station conveniences are mini marts, and there's our shaken martini. Martini, yes, that's correct. Here we have tallest peak in the Cascades. Uh-oh. Mount. Oh, maybe it starts with Mount. That's a clever way to get these letters in there. So we have the N, so we need I-I-A-R. I-I-A-R. Oh, Mount Rainier. Yes, that's in the Pacific Northwest near the Seattle area. Mount Rainier. Okay, there we go. Good. Should have gotten that more quickly, but got there eventually. British author known for his 1984 novel Money. Is it Martin Amis? Yes, that works. Yes, Martini fits in there. Very good. Okay, good. So that theme was helpful. And I mean, to be honest, I don't know if it actually made the puzzle go more quickly, because I ended up sort of sitting around thinking about these puzzles instead of maybe getting them more quickly with crosses, but that's okay. Here, opera's Barber of Seville. That's Figaro, the famous, Figaro, often used in cartoons from the Barber of Seville opera. Okay, meme that moves maybe. Could be a GIF, so an animated image. And titular woman in a number one Rolling Stones hit. Angie? I'm not sure. I usually don't know the Rolling Stones very well, to be totally honest with you. Let's see. Shelter by the beach. Could be a cabana. Okay, so I think that probably is Angie. Recording device informally could be a camera. And Tempe School. Tempe is a city in Arizona, so it could be Arizona State University, maybe. Mozzarella and cream cheese, often served as an appetizer, is a burrata, very, very sort of fresh cheese. I really like a good burrata. Slightly better could be actually not sure what this is. Blank Stanley Gardner, creator of Perry Mason. Earl Stanley Gardner was the sort of crime writer who was the creator of the Perry Mason character. And slightly better, I don't know. Don't know why I can't see that. Birch relative, it's probably an alder tree. I mean, that's a kind of tree. So, and they sort of look similar, I guess, in a way. They look like the same sort of tree. Modern checkout device in lieu of a cashier could be, I don't know, some sort of automated checkout. What is this? I don't know. Zoom button you might click when your dog barks. Might be the mute button. And to practice boxing is to spar. There we go. So, a step, I see. A step up is a slightly better. That's a step up. It's slightly better. That sounds correct. Modern checkout device in lieu of a cashier. Right. Many, especially smaller businesses, use iPads as checkout devices these days. Or similar tablets. Sends a ping in brief. IMs, instant messages somebody. And a studio with a lion mascot is famously MGM, Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer. Tree-like member of Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. I do know this. That's the Groot sort of tree man character. And then a mistake is an error. Man with a code. Oh, Morse, for whom Morse code was named as Samuel Morse, right? Is that his name, I think? Tiny arachnid could be a mite, I suppose. A little, not insect, I guess, but bug arachnid. Last name of two brotherly fairy tale writers is the Brothers Grimm, of course, famously. And they might be full of beans, burritos. You could have bean and cheese burrito, maybe. I don't give a damn, you might declare, as I guess Rhett Butler did. Pond buildup could be algae, plural of alga, and weathered as a storm. You could ride out a storm, so if you weathered it in the past, you rode it out. That sounds plausible to me. Famous Ford flop Edsel. Oops. So Edsel was Henry Ford's son and the namesake of the Ford Edsel, which was an enormous failure, just an absolute flop vehicle. Name that's also a major Australian airport code. It must be SID, which would be the airport code for Sydney Airport, I suppose. Looks extremely likely. I'm sure I've seen that many times before. Posing surface could be a yoga mat. And first female singer to have multiple albums exceed 10 billion streams on Spotify. Right, okay, I wouldn't have known this fact, certainly, but Dua Lipa is a singer of whom I've heard, so there we go. That'll go in the grid. And something in the style of something from the French, à la, so to thee in French, literally, or of thee, depending on how you read it. Or as, maybe. A preview could be a teaser, maybe, a film preview, a film teaser, for instance. And to record someone in a way is to tape them. I think there was a recording device somewhere else in here. Oh, Cam was in there. Symbols for tagging on Twitter could be the @ symbol, and a common flag symbol is a star. Certainly many flags globally have a star, or more than one star. Simple shelter could be a hut, and if something is included completely, it is in toto, which is that from Latin? I actually don't know. I never learned Latin, so I'm not actually sure. I would presume, but I'm not certain. Stuff spliced in a lab could be DNA, and at full speed nautically could be a main, which I think is referring to the main itself being the sea, on the main, on the sea. But I don't know. I don't know if that's why that's at full speed. Maybe not. I don't know. Decorate colorfully in a way is tie-dye? Right. You could tie-dye a t-shirt, for instance. That method of sort of colorful pattern dyeing that became popular in the 1960s. Associated with hippie culture. Get it? See? You could ask someone. And a poetry palindrome. Well, with a palindrome, we can immediately put an E in here because the word must read identically in either direction. And I suspect it's going to be air for before, a poetic way of saying before. Air now, before now. At least you did your best. You tried, or it was a try, or nice try, maybe? At least you did your best. Nice try. It's nice try often used sarcastically, but not in this case. I guess, I suppose at least you did your best could also be sarcastic. I don't know. Anyway, fanatical, maybe this isn't nice because fanatical could be avid. Famous cookie guy. Yeah, I don't think this is right. Because famous cookie guy could be famous Amos, the cookie brand, sort of packaged cookies in the U.S., North America, I guess. Tropical fruit often found in smoothies. Guava, probably, with those two A's. So fanatical does look like avid, doesn't it? Oh, good try. Good try. That sounds less sarcastic. And singer and actress Lady Gaga. Thick noodles in Japanese soups could be udon. And then if you regarded someone with respect, you admired them. And question counterpart, I suppose this would be, is answer. And question being abbreviated suggests that the answer may be as well. As someone pointed out in the clue, an abbreviation doesn't require the answer to be abbreviated, but it does mean it might be, and I think more often than not will be. In any case, here we go. That's the puzzle. A very nice shaken martini crossword in which our I guess it doesn't necessarily make sense to say that our martinis are shaken and not stirred, because you could use stirred similarly as an anagram and indicator to achieve this, but they certainly are shaken. So there we have it. We had a shaken martini hiding within dominatrix, a shaken martini hiding within mini-marts, one within Mount Rainier, and one within Martin Amis. So there we go. A nice. All of these, of course, consumed by James Bond. Ordered, and I guess more accurately, ordered by James Bond. He specifically orders a shaken martini. And there we have it. A nice, simple theme by Amy Lucida with a bit of cultural knowledge that I would wager is pretty widespread. And let me know how you fared with this puzzle in general. Unfortunately, glancing at the clock, I do not have time for the clues from yesterday's puzzle today. I don't think there were many anyway. It was a Monday puzzle, so that would be typical to not have many then. In any case, that's that for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll be back tomorrow for the midweek, mid-difficulty Wednesday crossword with another theme. Do come back and see what that one's all about. But until then, please do have an excellent remainder of your Tuesday. Take care.